Rather lads, welcome back to 99 Sport. My name is Cossy. United fans, this time we are talking about your club. It's not the Champions League. Yes, there is that logo down there, match result, but it's not all about the Champions League. In this video, I want to suggest 5 players that I think can bring Manchester United back to life. Now, in this video, I've been watching BT Sport. I mean, it's been a panel of Manchester United ex-players. You had Owen Hargreaves in there. You had Rio Ferdinand in here as well, and I think Paul Scholes. And the focus of this video was what the hell is wrong with Manchester United, and that is why that is where I derived the idea to do this video on 99 Sport. So basically, what Rio Ferdinand and Paul Scholes have been saying is Manchester United players have been walking away with murder. It doesn't matter whether the board is rotten. Doesn't matter whether they do not have a manager. Yes, it's really affecting them. But also, if you look at the quality of this team, if you look at the quality of that Manchester United team, they do not have a striker at the moment. Honestly, Ronaldo, he's a prolific striker, but he's not going to give you what a 25, 26-year-old striker would give you. I think he's I think he doesn't have the legs. Honestly, it really works out, very much. He's a very, very fit player, legend of the game, but he doesn't have the legs to play for you around 40 to 45 games per campaign. I think United got that wrong. So they don't have a striker. They don't have a central midfielder. Actually, I think United do not have a player in their pivot. They literally have no one. Pogba is so inconsistent. Scott McTominay is trash. And Fred, however good he is, I think he just needs to be probably on the bench, or he's not Manchester United level or anything like that. But I think where United have to think and rethink is their defense. They just need everything new. And I think they could just copy from Arsenal. What Arsenal did is they literally Mikel Arteta bought a new defense. Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, and it's only Kieran Tierney. And Tierney is also a new player because he was bought under Emery. Arsenal just threw away every kind of trash that was in that back line, and that's why they've tried to become better. They become better in terms of defending the ball. But I think United just need, I think they need the kind of squad reshuffle that is so ruthless. Definitely. But lads, United fans, I would love to hear from you. Do you think players are the problem, or do you think it's the manager? Because they don't have a manager. They literally don't have a manager, a proper manager. Or do you think it is the board? But in this video, let's get into 5 players that I think could definitely and ultimately change Manchester United. Now, in number 1, lads, I've gone with a striker, and I've gone with Victor Osimhen from Napoli, Nigerian striker. I think Osimhen has been linked with a couple of clubs around Europe, including Manchester United, if I'm not mistaken. Look, I thought about the likes of Erling Haaland. That is a very, very expensive player, and I think at the moment, Haaland and Mino Raiola will not want to associate themselves with Manchester United unless they're looking at huge amounts of money. But then I've gone with Victor Osimhen after considering a couple of options. Sebastian Haller at Ajax. I thought about him. I thought about Patrick Schick, and then I was like, I think Victor Osimhen could be the man that the Manchester United need. I think if you look at Osimhen, he has not actually blown to that level where you feel he's not having these consistent seasons where he's scoring 20 plus goals per campaign. He's still on his way to developing into a world-class star. Now, the problem is that Napoli bought him at a very, very hefty price, from the French League A. So United could need to pay over the odds for Victor Osimhen. But it's one player that would really, really help them. You need a player who you can trust to get you goals. You need a player who can take that responsibility. I think Ronaldo can, but not all the time. I think Victor Osimhen, a player like Victor Osimhen, would actually definitely do that. Be there for you, score for you the goals. I think he can score 20. I think he's capable of scoring 20 and above. Goals per campaign in the Premier League. I think he's a well-proven player. He's been in France. He's been in Belgium. He's been currently in Italy. So if you brought him at United, he's 23 years of age, so his resale value is there. I feel Victor Osimhen would be that kind of striker, typical number 9. He's got more attributes to his game than players like Romelu Lukaku. He has more attributes. He's got that kind of a hold-up play that I think is okay. He's got that kind of ability to finish. He's very, very clinical. So if United maybe can't get a striker of his stature, they could have a target man. Because when I was watching them against Atletico Madrid, they literally didn't have a target man. Ronaldo is making runs off, away from the middle, and the likes of Elanga and Sancho are not making runs to the middle. It's very different from clubs like Liverpool. If you look at Liverpool, their main striker would be Firmino or Jota is actually making runs away from the center. But Salah and Mane and Luis Diaz, they're kind of inverted. Their runs, their moves are targeting that middle spot, that penalty area, and I think United needs someone like that. Victor Osimhen for me would be the man, and of course the fact that you have Bruno Fernandes as well as a number 10, it just brings out the fact that you need a number 9. You need someone who's going to convert the chances created by Bruno Fernandes and players like Pogba if you're going to survive. But I think Victor Osimhen, lads, is one player the Manchester United should go for. He would really, really definitely work for them. Now, number 2, lads, I've gone with Ruben Neves. I think this is a no-brainer. Not Ruben Neves, really, but the issue of the midfield at Manchester United is a case. It's a serious case. Look, United are a big team, and by default, that means you're going to have many games where you have to control them. You have many games where you're going to have possession. You have many games where you're going to have to plan with the ball. I think United are really getting it wrong here with Scott McTominay and Fred. Fred is a very flat midfielder. Yesterday, I looked at him. He looked very, very brilliant, but nothing special. I think it's that kind of Brazilian that is nothing special, right? It's the kind of midfielder that has nothing special. Good ball distribution. I think these playing the flick ons and things like that. Yes, it's okay. But when it comes down to business, what exactly is the output? Then Fred is not the man. Scott McTominay just needs to be out of Manchester United. We really can't say much about him. But the point lies why I've gone with Ruben Neves in this one. I think he's more of a hybrid, and he would suit better what Manchester United want. You have Bruno Fernandes, you have Sancho, and Marcus Rashford. I think predominantly that would be the front three. In the coming seasons, you need players that have the ability and knowledge to pick out passes to that players. I think Ruben Neves is one of those players, but also in terms of providing that defensive cover to the back four. I think he really does it very well at Wolves. Actually, if you look at Wolves, one of their biggest strength is the fact that they don't concede a lot, and it comes from two factors. One, they always love having and caressing the ball. They always keep it whenever they can. But even when they can't, they have that kind of very, very solid defensive backline that is then joined by Joe Moutinho and Ruben Neves, of course led by Conor Cody. So Ruben Neves, ball distribution, thinking outside the box, and also bringing that kind of vibe to the midfield that Manchester United do not have. I mean, he's better than Scott McTominay. He's better than Fred. I think they need him, especially that Pogba and his future are very, very uncertain at Manchester United. But United needs defenders more. And number 1, lads, I've gone with Tino Livramento from Southampton and Chelsea as well. Now, Tino Livramento is a right back, a left back, sorry, at Southampton, and is on loan. Is there on loan from Chelsea? So look, I think what United are really getting wrong, especially in terms of creativity, is the role of the fullbacks. Look, I think in modern football, you can get everything wrong, and we've seen Fragnick struggle. And the reason is as to why he's really struggled is because fullbacks in modern football, fullbacks in the kind of style he wants to play, are not only important, they're special. Special. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson at Liverpool, Yao Cancelo and Walker at Manchester City, Ben Chilwell and Reece James at Chelsea, Kieran Tierney and Tomiyasu at Arsenal. They are special. They're absolutely special. When I did a video of my best 20 Premier League players, at one player per team, I picked out Tino Livramento from Southampton. He's exciting. But that is not why I've gone with Tino Livramento. Not because he's exciting, but he's got that ability to impact the final third. I think with fullbacks in modern football, that is what you're looking at. Do my fullbacks impact the game, impact the final third of the game? Livramento does it. Van Bissaka doesn't do it. Luke Shaw does it. But how consistent? Ever since the Euros, he came back. He started the season very well, and that's it. And you've got to have the consistent players. You need to have them consistent. And look, Shaw is getting older and older. You need young blood. You need fresh legs. You need fresh minds. You need players that are coachable. Players that are really ready to learn new things, including attitudes from small to big. Because United is a big team, and you need to have a big attitude. I don't mean big attitude like big attitude, but you need to have a positive, really, really positive attitude if you're going to play. So Tino Livramento, lads, is the left back I think United need to go for. At right back, though, I have very, very different ideas at right back, and I've gone with Tariq Lamptey. Now, Tariq Lamptey is playing at Brighton, former Chelsea player as well. So that means, and the fact that we have two former Chelsea players here, it shows you how good Chelsea's youth strategy has been. Because honestly, I don't know if they've been using it for money laundering. I'm sorry. How can I say that in the situation in which Chelsea are? Damn, sorry for that. But look, if you look at Chelsea's youth system, the likes to the moment you have the likes of Armando Broja at Southampton. You have Tino Livramento. You have Conor Gallagher at Crystal Palace. It just shows, and of course, they're not the only ones. We've had a couple of them. They just buy these young players, and then they loan them out, and in turn they become, great players. Now, I don't think, honestly, Tariq Lamptey is now a Brighton player. I don't think Brighton will have a problem with selling him. Around 30 to 50 million is what Manchester United need, but they invested around 49 million in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Bissaka should be playing as a centre back in a back three. He's good at that. I don't think it's one you definitely let go of. But Bissaka is not good enough. It doesn't offer anything, going forward. And that's why with the introduction of Ralf Rangnick, you've seen Diego Dalot come forward more, trying to create more, trying to pick up the spaces and take up a Bissaka space. Because I think Dalot, however much I don't rate him that much, but at least he provides something to Manchester United. So I've gone with Tariq Lamptey. Lamptey is a very, very fast player. Very fast. Actually, I was thinking about players Arsenal as my team we could sign, and I was like, why don't you go for this boy? He's he's amazing, and indeed, honestly, lads, he's really, really amazing. So I've gone with Tariq Lamptey. He's one that is amazing going forward. Really, really amazing. I think England have a lot of talent in there. You have you have Trent Alexander-Arnold, you have Derek Lamptey there as well. I just feel like, you have Kyle Walker as well, but I just feel like, and then Rich James, but I just feel like, it's gonna be big, because he just needs to wake up one day and leave Brighton, play for a bigger team, play for a team that is ambitious going forward, play for a team that is interested in offensive attack. I love Brighton. I love Brighton. I'm forgetting the name of the manager there, Graham Potter. I love Graham Potter, but my problem with them is he settles for less. That's my problem with him. He settles for less. That Brighton side has lots and lots of room for expansion. He needs to work on it. But Tarek Lamptey lads, United, they need to go for him. Yeah, they need to go for him. And lastly, there for Manchester United is a centre back, Harry Maguire. And this is crazy because I've gone for a centre back at Leicester, and everyone is going to say, Cossy, how can we go back to Leicester? Those scoundrels, they gave us a piece of cigarette, and we thought he was a top class defender. But I've gone with Wesley Fofana. It's highly debatable and questionable whether Leicester would give Wesley Fofana to Manchester United, but Maguire needs to go out of that team as soon as possible. And it's one thing I would trust a manager like Ralph Rangnick to do. Get him out. He's not a liability. He's I don't know, because you look for that name, you look for for that word, and it's not there. I think as captain, as a senior player in the centre back, he's supposed to lead by example. He's supposed to be one of the players who actually bring togetherness to this team. He's actually doing the opposite. He's creating commotion. Wesley Fofana is a young player. We've seen him play with William Saliba, and even in his first season at Leicester, he was absolutely very good. He suffered an injury this season, and maybe that could be one of the reasons as why he got a setback. But if you're United, and if I'm Manchester United, I'm looking at a young player. You look for that young player that has the ability to become world class. Because again, Rafa Varane is not going to stay there for long, and Victor Lindelof is no future. So Wesley Fofana, probably 60 million, maybe 60 million. Leicester City would agree to sell the player. I think this is his second season at Leicester, so it would take a lot of convincing to Leicester, in order for them to sell to you. But for me, those are the 5 players that I think United need. They just need that, they need to build, and at the same time, they need extra quality, because a team like United, they're not going to have the time 3 years, 4 years, 5 years without winning trophies, without going to Champions League, to build something like Arsenal have done it. Arsenal are big as well, but Arsenal have decided to sacrifice some years. I think United will not do that. I think they'll feel, we can't do this, we need to be here, and that's fine, and it's okay. But in order to do that, then you definitely have to invest. So 5 players that United can buy to make them a little bit better. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and smash a like on the video.